Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn how to deploy your first Spring Boot application into the Kubernetes platform simply. So for this one, we need to have first Docker desktop application and also one Spring Boot microservice application and Kubernetes enabled Docker desktop. And also we are going to download one simple Google Antigravity IDE so we can run our first application into the Google Antigravity IDE. Antigravity IDE. So let's start our journey. So you might have think about what is Docker and what is Kubernetes. I can give a simple statement. Docker is a container platform and Kubernetes is a container orchestrator platform and Spring Boot is a microservice application. So now you are going to bring up first Spring Boot application into the Google Antigravity and run it locally, and then you set up your first Spring Boot application into the Kubernetes platform locally. So that's our agenda. Let's go and deep dive into it. So what the first step you need to do? You need to do some sub setup. So first thing, you download first Spring Boot application, and I'm going to use little logger and where I can remove little boilerplate code. So I'm using Lombok for it. So I just added one dependency and rest I'm going to use very simple application, and I will write a simple get method so to print logs and also to display some text into the browser. So let's do that. So now I just downloaded the application and just generate it, and it will download application, and you can import this one into your favorite IDE. I'm going to import this one into the Google Antigravity, and you can download Google Antigravity from the Google Antigravity website. So for Windows, it's just currently I'm using for Windows, just I installed it. So next step is you are going to download Docker desktop application. It's very simple, and you can go and download the first Docker desktop application. If it is Windows, you can download it I'm going to download for Windows and install it. So now I'm for our quick reference, I already installed it for you, so it will look like this once you installed it. And you can this is personal use, and you can also sign in. Once you sign in, and you can see you can control your containers and also Kubernetes. So just once you logged in, and it will automatically enables you proceed for the Docker desktop. So now I came. So now I successfully logged in, and now what I need to do? So you need to perform little steps, like okay, it's not straightforward as a microservice. You need to follow little steps to deploy your first microservice application into the Kubernetes platform. Let's do those steps. So was that I opened the Google Gravity IDE. So here I already downloaded the example and I imported it. So this is the main program, and just I'm writing one simple get mapping. So this enables you to access your application, or you access this get URL from the browser. So I'm printing simple log.info. For that one, I'm planning to use I'm using SLF4J. So this we import and just we print some loggers in the loggers. So I'm just returning hello from Kubernetes. So where you can see this text into the browser. So let's see first how do we run this application into the Google Gravity IDE first time. So just click on this run service, same as Java service how you are running in IntelliJ or Eclipse. So just click on it, and it will enable you to run your application into the locally, and you can see we can see our results in the browser. So it's going to start now. Okay, this IDE benefit says like it can review the code, and it is also suggests some codings also here from with free of cost. So can you review the code? Review the code. Yeah, okay, it will start review the code and just it will provide you the session server. So that's why just okay, in agentic era, just I feel that okay, these kind of things with a free of cost they are going to give it to us. So I'm going to use this code, this Google Antigravity IDE. So if you like, you can also use it. So see here, it is already started analyzing it. In the meantime, I already brought up this application, and let's see how it is going to run this application in our local. So local host and 808 is the port, and this is the hello from the Kubernetes, and let's see it's printing the logs or not. So here hello endpoint is called, yeah, that's the log it printed. So what is the next step? So, and we are going to deploy the same application into the Kubernetes local cluster. So let's do that. So first I'm stopping this one after demo. So next step is, like, for this one, first you need to prepare the Docker image. For this one we can use the simple Docker image Dockerfile. So this is from which one it is, like okay, you can use any one of the JDE, currently I'm going to use open source. And work directory, this is normal as a container, how you are going to create. This is a sample example for this creating the container Dockerfile. So now I prepared the Dockerfile, and now you can run this Dockerfile, and by clicking build image, it will build image for you and it will deploy. Like you can give image tags or whatever, just you can give, or I'm giving 1.0. so just run it. So once successfully, yeah, it's trying to generate the image, and also it's trying to push the image into the local Docker. Yeah, it's done. So what is the next step? So you need to prepare one deployment.yaml file. Actually this is the deployment file, and where you deploy your first Spring Boot image into the Kubernetes. So this deployment file, when you run this deployment file, it will create a deployment for you in the Kubernetes. And next step, once you deploy your Kubernetes application into the Kubernetes, once you deploy the first Spring Boot application into the Kubernetes container, next is you bring up the service, and where it will enables you to access from the outside the world. Okay, so next step, like we execute these two steps. Okay, first thing, so okay, I will run one simple command. Instead of typo mistakes, I just already copied one simple commands already. I prepared already commands, so I just copy paste this. So first thing is deployment.ml. We are going to run the deployment.ml, and we can see our deployment in the Kubernetes. Okay, so first thing we need to go for this path, and okay, in the demo application, I didn't create any KS8 folder, K8s folder. So what I do, I will go to this path and run this already prepared deployment file. So before that, we will see any deployments were present in this here in the container or Kubernetes. So there is no deployments, and just now we created one image, and by the time it should be available here. Let's see, this is the demo applications which we created. Okay, this is the first Spring Boot application, as it is already available 4 days ago. Just it's just created new image. So now what we do, we prepare the deployment. So for deploying you use the Kubernetes ctl apply -f deployment.yaml file. Okay, deployment is created. Let's go and check whether deployment is present over here or not. Normally it should be present by this time. So this is the deployment. Okay, it's already started running, available, and already it is started running. Now to access this deployment file, you need to have a one service. Okay, so how do I do the service? Already service file I showed you last time. Just we also run the service command, service.yaml. Now the service also available, service created. Let's go and see that service. Now the service also it will be available. See, the service also it is available now. So now how do you see whether this application is up and running? You know that for by default Kubernetes it won't expose your application to outside the world. You can use the port forward command. So as a simple port forward command, already I prepared for it, and just I'm going to run this simple port forward command. So now it will enable your application from the local Kubernetes cluster to outside the world. So now it is within the 80804 port, and we just forwarded, and we can see the application with this one. So first this one, like okay, we go and execute few commands in another cmd. Okay, what are the pods? And we can see the logs of the pods, like okay, it's yeah, kubectl get -a. So it will display you all the pods which is available. So this is the pod which is currently running. Okay, it's just 2 minutes 20 seconds ago it started running. So now how do we see the logs of this particular pod? Is kubectl logs -f, and you can use this image name or the pod name, sorry. So it will try to tell you the logs. Now there is no logs printed. So first time we go and start our application here. Okay, there is a response from the server. So here if you see hello endpoint is called, is already printed over here, and also we can see the hello from the Kubernetes in the browser as well. So this is the today's learning, and you have any questions, you can feel free to comment. Thank you.